We're now going to nip over to the other side of the USA, the west coast of California, sunny California, San Diego to be precise, and we're going to welcome Sarah and Craig Chi.
Aloha!
Well, Sarah, you got your hands full there.
I sure do. Our son Cameron was born in January of this year, and we've had, it's been really amazing watching him grow and seeing how fast he's grown. Already 7 months and is a wonderful, happy, sweet boy.
Fantastic. Now, I wasn't quite sure. I said San Diego because I hear you're moving back to Hawaii. Is that correct?
That is correct. We're going to be moving back to Hawaii. It'll be wonderful to have Cameron surrounded by family, especially because that's where Craig grew up.
I was just about to say that, and also arguably the birthplace of the ukulele.
That's true. That is very, very true. We're very, very excited to be surrounded and inspired by being back at home as well.
So in the music media, you have been hailed as two of the finest ukulele players in the world. Sarah, you've been called the Queen of Jazz for your adaptations between taking them down to the four strings, can't be easy, and Craig for your more up-to-date adaptations as well.
Well, I love that's how we kind of started, and when we had our own separate careers, that's definitely kind of where that line was. Everything we've done in the past, I think 5 years of really working together has completely changed our sound and what we do together, and it's been so incredible just to kind of witness that and be a part of that change.
Yeah, it's been amazing to be able to blend those two styles together as well, so that we actually have been writing and creating arrangements that utilize different techniques from sort of both genres, and it's been a whole lot of fun.
Honey, I know you've been lonesome. Why don't you phone some? 'Cause I love you. Honey, I know I've been away some. I've had to pay some, and you have too. But the one thing I know, that when I turn out the lights, visions of you, dear, dance in the night have been put down, pushed around, apprehended and let downtown, and I can't help it if I'm out of sight, 'cause I'm restless tonight.
It's funny because it's probably the same over there, but in the UK, every village, every town, every city, they've all got a ukulele orchestra. You can walk around the villages at night and there's a little village hall and they're thrumming away, Jimi Hendrix, Sex Pistols, classical music. I mean, for 130 odd years, it's still going. Why do you think it survived all the trends of punk and rock and blues?
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's one of the least intimidating instruments that you'll ever find. And so because of that, people are very excited about learning it. It's easy to pick up and just be able to play, 3 chords, and all of a sudden you can start playing a ton of songs. So people that were always, scared about learning music can learn very quickly and easily. And I think that's a lot of why the instrument has stayed so popular. And also it's a social thing. All of the gatherings and things that people do with the instrument has really, really, I know for myself, it gave me a whole new circle of friends when I started playing. So I think that's another reason why it's sort of stood the test of time.
Well, it doesn't matter your age.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what genre of music you like. You can do everything on it.
I feel so well. No sobs, no sorrows, no sighs.
That's very true. I don't think I've ever seen an unhappy ukulele player. Just go back. Was the ukulele the first instrument that you both decided to learn? It must have had some sort of backing before that, maybe classical training, because you're very, very good.
It is not my first instrument. My first instrument's actually classical violin. But I picked up the uke in my 20s when I discovered a group of people playing ukulele and playing Hawaiian music. It was the first time I'd ever seen hula. And for me, it just, I was surrounded by happy, positive people, and the instrument radiates positivity. And so I was hooked instantly.
And although I started with piano and cello, I actually learned way more about music and music theory with the ukulele than I ever did. There's something about that classical training versus something like the ukulele, because with piano and cello, I felt like I was really just following notes on a piece of paper compared to being incredibly creative and playing kind of on the fly.
On the fly. Because, I mean, ukulele is Spanish. Was it dancing flea, dancing fly?
It was jumping fleas. Lele is jumping, and uku are fleas. So when it came over from Portugal, the Hawaiians said that their fingers looked like dancing or jumping fleas, and that's where the name of the ukulele came about.
Glad you cleared that. Just say ukulele again for me.
Ukulele.
Oh, wonderful. How you first met, I think it's brilliant that you've made a career out of playing the ukulele. But I think you told me a while ago that you met after you were both on the same bill, same gigs, and got to know each other.
That is correct. Actually, yes and no. So we actually met through a friend of ours who is a luthier, and that person was actually making instruments, making one for Craig and making one for myself. And he got us in touch because I was actually looking for a specific low G string, and Craig actually had access to an unwound one, and he sent me one, and then we met at the NAMM show and then started appearing on the same bills. And then the next thing we know, we end up together, married, and have little Cameron now.
From this house we'll build a home and grow like a wild tale grows, and this story's always told by lovers in the fold of a heart that beats so big. Everyone come see that moon, it's hanging like a picture in the sky. Everyone come crowd around the big old moon, shining like a diamond in the sky. And I'll meet you there, my love, the center of my mind.
Fantastic, fantastic. So when his fingers are big enough, he'll be on to 4 strings. I mean, you mentioned the NAMM show. We've got to mention lockdown, have we? All the shows have been cancelled. A lot of bands are being proactive, an artist like yourself, or it's been a complete nightmare. How's it been for you?
So to be honest, we've been very, very fortunate during this time, mainly because for the last 2 years, we couldn't have asked for better planning. You know, we said, okay, if we take some time off, we can, try to get pregnant, and then the next year we'll take some time off and help raise the kid. And we had our online school with Artist Works to kind of help supplement everything. Once we realized how many people just saw their whole year vanish, we were drinking coffee and tea in the morning, and we turned to each other and we said we have to do something to help, because not everyone is in that same place, and we're as fortunate as us. So we sank in about 200 plus hours on the first, we call the first mini fest, but we hosted over 20 ukulele artists, and we hosted, I think it was a 7.5 hour live stream.
The song Italo Ka'ua Kilihune. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. Mahalo.
We ended up doing 2 mini fests, each with over 20 artists. I think the second one was 9 hours.
It was over 9 hours.
It was supposed to be shorter, but and then we hosted a smaller event featuring some of Hawaii's best ukulele artists as well. So that was its own separate thing, which was another like 6-7 hours or so.
And all of these were fundraisers. We wanted to make sure that we were able to help as much as we could all of our friends that we knew were in need, because all of the gigs, everything was gone. And we were really, really, really happy that we were able to help all of the friends that we brought to join us for those live streams.
I think we had almost now 30,000 people watch that first mini fest, which was amazing for a tiny little instrument. And that, you know, to see those kind of numbers and to draw people in for the first time. A lot of people said that's the first ukulele event that they've ever really done, and they can't wait to actually seek out some of the physical festivals that are around them when everything gets safe and open again.
Fantastic. I've said many, many, many times it's all the power of music. Well, these events you've just talked about, can we see any of these online?
Yes, if you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Craig and Sarah, you can actually see all of the live streams that we've been doing for the past 5 or 6 months now.
And of course, acoustic guitars for many years have outsold electric guitars. High up on the list have been ukuleles, a vulnerable instrument, whatever make it is. I mean, you play some very high-end exotic tonewood models, so you've really got to protect them. And obviously the Fusion gig bags, paramount for protection traveling.
I love our bags so much. I'm still amazed at all of the places that they fit so beautifully. I know all of the overhead bins, we've always been asked, how do they travel? They're perfect. Even the smallest overhead bins, we've been able to stash our instruments without a worry. And I, second what Craig was saying about they're so comfortable, and, we've worn them all day. And it's, our backs are fine the next day, unlike if we had a hard case. So it's really nice to have something that's light and durable that we know protects the instruments very well.
Fantastic. And long may you travel, and let's see you back in the UK soon.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Aloha.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Cameron. See you in the UK with your own ukulele when you're a little bit bigger.
Yes! But tonight belongs to you and I. When you're safe in your Hawaiian way, I love you too. When you're safe in your Hawaiian